about it right now for being a good parent. No matter where you find yourself, no matter what kind of stuff is going on in your life, underneath it all, everything's actually all right. You're okay. You have more power than you might be giving yourself credit for. And if you have something that's going on in your life right now that's challenging, it's just a reminder to take a little bit better care of yourself. It's worth it. You can have this feeling anytime you choose.
This is not something that I'm used to doing. I actually am not hungry at all right now, and I don't usually eat first thing in the morning, but I've been trying to intentionally implement this to try to help lower my cortisol levels, which I'll talk to you a little bit more about later, but that's why I've got my little fruit and yogurt bowl. This is my mom's room, actually. It has the best light in the morning, so if she's downstairs, I usually will come up here and do my meditation and journaling, so that's where I'm at right now. Super colorful, but super bright. And yeah, so I'm gonna eat my bowl and then I'm going to meditate. On. Okay, hi, good morning. Usually it takes me about this long until I want to talk to anyone in the mornings. Let me move you up a little bit. Just not a morning person. Yes, my hair looks crazy right now. I'm about to do it, but I wanted to take you along today on, this is still healing diaries, but this is going to be a very different day than what I showed in my last one, because I'm feeling a lot better this week, feeling a lot better today, and so it's going to look different. I'm also going to a concert tonight. I have fun plans. I'm going to go to the gym again here in a little bit. I'm going to do some work. It's just going to be a different day, and that's kind of the first thing that I wanted to talk about, which is I'm gonna try to multitask and like get ready while I talk to you, so bear with me. Let's put some contacts in first. So there's a couple things I wanted to hit on specifically. I have a nice little zit right there. Which is one, that healing is not linear. I know we hear that all the time, and it comes in waves for sure. I feel like I've kind of pinpointed for me as a female, as a woman, that it definitely ties into my cycle as well. So I've definitely noticed, especially during my luteal phase, I tend to have the lowest mood anyways. I'm more irritable and all the things, so I know that more stuff kind of comes to the surface for me around that time in my cycle. I'm just super aware of it, and it helps me. And the other thing that I can kind of rely on with that is I know it'll pass. Once I get to a different part of my cycle, I'll feel better. And that's a really good thing to be aware of when you're not feeling the best. So that's the first thing. Oh my God. Is that healing definitely comes in waves. And so that's kind of one of the things I wanted to document on this journey that I'm on, is that, like, you know, 1 week it's gonna look like it did in the last video, and then another week it's gonna look like it's going to in this one, where I'm feeling a lot better, I'm doing a lot better, I'm doing fun things, I'm spending time with friends and family, and yeah. So anyways, that's the first thing I wanted to mention. The second thing that I wanted to mention, it's time to do this hair. That's what we need to do. Crazy. Hold on. Okay, I couldn't do that main part without the mirror, and you're like sitting in where the mirror usually is. Anyways, the second thing I want to talk about, as I mentioned this morning when I was eating, was my cortisol levels. And this is something that I've been learning from, I heard someone else mention it this way, Dr. TikTok. But I've also just known about from my own experience in healthcare, is that cortisol plays such a big role in our overall health and hormones. And if that specific hormone is not in check, then it doesn't matter what we do with our estrogen or progesterone or all the things, because the cortisol is kind of like at the foundation of everything else. And so I just, by kind of self-diagnosing, I have a lot of symptoms of high cortisol or just like dysregulated cortisol. And it makes sense for me. I've lived in kind of a chronic state of stress for the last several years, decade, longer of my life. Like I mentioned in the last video, I had a lot of childhood trauma. I've just gone through a lot, and it just makes sense to me that I would have high cortisol. Like my body just has gotten used to kind of being in a fight or flight mode for a long time. And so I've been experimenting with some ways in which I could lower my cortisol. These are things that even if I didn't have high cortisol, because I haven't gotten it checked, and I'm not going to, at least not right now, but these are things that even if I didn't have high cortisol, it's not like it's going to do any harm. So one of the things to do if you have high cortisol is, as a woman, is to try to eat first thing in the morning and have it like it be a high protein meal. A lot of people are talking about 30 grams of protein, and I think that's great, but when you're used to not eating in the morning like me, it's hard to get in 30 grams of protein right away. That's just a lot of food. My stomach won't do it. It like makes me want to gag. I can't. So I've been just sticking to like a Greek yogurt, which has about 12 to 15 grams of protein, about half of that, and then some berries. This also helps with regulating your blood sugar and your insulin, which when your cortisol levels are high, that's going to have an effect on your blood sugar and insulin regulation, and it can cause insulin dysfunction. So anyways, I'm going on a tangent, but to eat like a meal right away helps to stabilize your blood sugar and cortisol levels. The other thing with this is for the longest time, I would get up and have coffee right away in the mornings. And I'm not against caffeine, and I'm not cutting out caffeine. That's one of the things a lot of people recommend when they talk about lowering cortisol. That's just not gonna happen for me. But I am trying to wait a little bit longer to have caffeine, and I'm definitely trying to wait until after I eat to have caffeine. That's just gonna help as well with like your stomach and things like that. So that's another thing that I'm doing. I've been doing the lemon water for the longest time. If you've followed me, you've seen that. I implemented that a while ago. That doesn't necessarily help with cortisol levels, but it does help with hydration, and we could all use more hydration. So I tried to have the lemon water, and I have been adding a little bit of salt in it to help with hydration as well in the mornings. So I've been doing that, and then eating a little bit of something, and then having my coffee. So I'm trying to go slow and steady. I would like to eventually, and I was doing this for about a week, was to get outside and walk right away and get some sunlight. That will help with the circadian rhythm, which also helps regulate cortisol, because our cortisol should be kind of steadily increasing in the first couple hours of the day. But a lot of times, if you're in a chronic state of stress, and this is just like stress on your body, not necessarily, it could be mental stress too, but your cortisol levels will spike really fast instead of kind of that slow and steady increase that it's supposed to have. So getting outside and getting sunlight kind of helps regulate your body in another way too, by saying, okay, like it's time to wake up. And so yeah, it's all good. But right now too, it is like 95 degrees outside, and not trying to sweat and be miserable first thing in the morning. So I'm gonna slowly integrate that later. So anyways, that's my little spiel about cortisol and what I've been trying to do with that. The last thing I want to talk about right now was, and I'm getting ready for today, I'm gonna go do some work for a little bit. Right now it's like 10:30, which is like the busy time at the gym, so I'm not even gonna try to go right now. They have like classes going on and stuff. It's just crazy. So I'm gonna do some work, eat like a full breakfast, and then go to the gym. But the other thing that I wanted to mention was about my meditation and my journaling this morning, because it looks different than the last one that I posted, and I want to just give you guys an idea of kind of the different things that I do, or like the different healing modalities and different things that I utilize. And so this morning, I woke up on the very wrong side of the bed, actually. It wasn't like in the last video where I was like really sad and triggered. This was like I was feeling very negative and irritable and frustrated. I had some like wacky dreams that I woke up to and just wasn't feeling great. So what I did was I did a similar meditation to what I talked about in my last video, where I sat down kind of with my inner child. This time I kind of sat down with this like negative part of me that has been coming up, or that was really active this morning, and just kind of sat with it and said like, okay, what do you want to share? Why are you here? Like, you know, because I do believe that our feelings and these things that come up are meant to serve us. They're meant to teach us or show us something. And so I sat with that intention to kind of see what it was trying to show me. And so I sat with it, and it just started rambling about all the negative things that were kind of spiraling in my head, and I just kind of like let it be. And then after the meditation was over, I mean, that was it. Like I got out of the meditation not feeling any better. But then this is where the journaling came into play, where I then just like thought dumped my thoughts onto the paper, got them all out of my head. And it was like I let them just be there. They were very negative, and no judgment against those. That was the very important thing, was like just get them all out, let them be there, no judgment, no shame, no guilt. And then what I did was I was like, okay, from my higher self, or from God, universe, like whatever you want to say, you know, you just want it to be a more wholesome, loving aspect that you can kind of tap into, whatever that looks like for you. From that aspect, then I was like, okay, what do I need to know from this? What do I need to learn? What is this trying to teach me? And then again, I just wrote as the thoughts came. No judgment, no trying to like get certain thoughts out. And it was so helpful. By the end of that journaling, I was feeling and am feeling so much better. I just completely shifted my perspective. And just as like an example was, I woke up feeling just really negative about my living arrangement, and I'm living with my mom right now, and I was feeling some shame about that. And like getting ready to record here and stuff, it's just bringing up a lot of stuff for me. But then as I was journaling, I was like, you know what? This is a season of life I'm going to look back at later and wish I still had. You know, like we're all getting older, time is going by, and this is going to be a time in my life that I'm going to wish that I had back at some point. All this time that I'm getting to spend with her and being here, you know, this is giving me an opportunity to get my finances in a better place, like more quickly than I would if I wasn't here. And yeah, it just helped me really shift my perspective, and I'm feeling a lot better now. So I wanted to share that. I am gonna brush my teeth, and then I'm gonna go downstairs. I'm gonna start on some work before I make my breakfast. the only two things I'm gonna do right now are I need to make my grocery list because I might have time to stop at the grocery store today after the gym. If not, I'll go tomorrow, but I need to have that list ready anyways. And then I am also going to work on my content plan for next week. So I'm gonna do that. It is 11:16 now. I do need to eat. I wanna try to leave for the gym around noon. So 45 minutes to get some work done, and I'll just get done what I can. I'm not gonna try to rush and pressure myself. So I had an idea of what I wanted to make for meals this week, but I'm just using my tried and true Pinterest to figure out, I know what I'm gonna do for my lunches, and now I'm looking for dinner ideas. And then what I do is I go into my notes and I kind of write down what meals I'm having, and then I just plug everything else in here. So that's what I'm working on. Anyways, breakfast is this egg scramble with mostly egg whites, 1 egg, some crumbled up breakfast sausage. I had some pre-cooked onions and peppers I put in there, and then some low-fat cheese. And I'm also having a bowl of fruit with it, which is strawberries, blueberries, and pineapple. Okay, so that work that I wanted to get done, I did not. I was gonna look for content inspo, and I ended up just scrolling. That happens all the time. I need to like reel it in with that, but let me turn this down because I feel like it's gonna be a little loud. But now I'm gonna head to the gym. I wanna get about a 45-minute workout, and I'm just gonna do some cardio and then abs and core, and then I need to run to the grocery store because I made my grocery list. I'm gonna try to do that today because there's not much on my list this week actually. And yeah, so let's get into it. I have the new Alani flavor I'm gonna try for the first time. I've not tried this yet. This is the pink slush flavor. I love the Alani energy drinks. I've been loving bringing one of these to the gym with me and kind of like drinking it on my way instead of, I'm gonna spill it. Instead of having any kind of pre-workout. Just feels like a little treat. And so yeah, taste test, first sip. Oh shit, that's good. That is way better than I thought it was gonna be. When I saw pink slush and I saw strawberries on the front, I was like, I don't know, like not a huge artificial strawberry flavor, but that's really good. Wow. Okay, let's go to the gym. Clue for the concert later. Into Aldi, so I'm gonna grab some groceries and then headed home. Okay, I'm home. I just did I'm talking kind of quiet because my mom and my nephew are upstairs napping, but I did the fastest grocery shopping ever. I'm gonna put everything away and then I need to go shower. It's like itching there. I need to go shower and start getting ready. I told myself I wanted to start getting ready at 2. 10, so not too far off, but still, what I don't wanna be doing is scrambling to get ready like when I need to leave for the concert. I need to head downtown between like 3:30 and 4, so yeah, I'm gonna put the groceries away. So it's the next day, and I definitely forgot to record anything for the vlog last night. I'm so out of practice with vlogging. I even told myself going into the concert last night, don't forget to record, but I've just been trying to really focus on being present more, and I think that got the best of me because I was so present I forgot to record. But I will include some clips here that I did get of the concert on my phone, but it wasn't like intentionally vlogging, so I'll insert those here. The concert was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with my friend. It was just good to get out. I love, one of my favorite things, one of the most healing things for me is music, especially live music, and just being able to dance and sing your favorite songs and be in the vibe of the concert, and I just love that. So I don't even think I said, we went to see Bryson Tiller, who I love. He's an R&B artist, if you haven't heard of him. He has just come out with new music for the first time in years, and so he went back on tour. It was nice to hear some of the music live. It was good to just be around the crowd that was all dancing and having a good time. That's how last night went. And I'm gonna wrap up the vlog here. I just really wanted to show in this episode of Healing Diaries how different it can look on a week-to-week basis, day-to-day basis even, and how when you're in the healing journey, you just ride the waves, really. It's really all you can do. So we'll see what the next Healing Diaries brings, but that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the